All right. Hello, my name is Michael. I'm a second-year dental student at Western University in Pomona, California. I'm joined by Doan.
Hi. My name is Doan.
Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes. So my name is Doan, and I am 26 years old. I graduated my undergrads at UC Irvine, and then I went back up to the Bay. I'm from San Jose, California. I went back up to the Bay to do a Post-Bacc program at Cal State East Bay. And luckily, now I'm here at Western University with Michael.
I'm so excited to have you on the channel because you were watching my videos.
I was like a big stalker of Michael.
No, you weren't. No.
Yeah, I followed his YouTube channel, watched everything because I wanted to learn everything about Western because I really, really wanted to come here and I wanted to see what it was like as a student. But now I'm very lucky to be here in this video.
Oh, that means a lot. Reason why I bring that up is you were one of the first 50 people, I think, that subscribed. Because Monica,
yes!
our mutual friend Monica, she's in my class. She started telling me
I was a day one.
Yeah, so I mean, it's so great to have you here. And you know, reason why I wanted to have you on the channel was because you went through quite a bit of the journey. You know, you did your Post-Bacc, and you also kind of you had a very successful application season. I mean, you got into a few schools, right?
Yeah.
And then you went through the whole process of choosing a program.
Right.
So that's really what I wanted to talk about. But before we get into that, backing up a little bit, can we talk a little bit about your Post-Bacc? What made you decide to do it, and how long after graduating from UCI did you?
So I graduated from UC Irvine in 2015, and right away I knew that. So towards the end, let me just start off with a little background about myself, I guess. Towards the end of my undergraduate career was when I actually decided that I wanted to do dentistry. Throughout college, I was kind of, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a biology major, and then I ended up being a public health major, and so that was kind of a journey on its own. And then towards the end of my undergraduate career, I discovered dentistry. And then I knew that my scores weren't competitive and I didn't really have a lot of dental experience. And so my brother actually was in the Post-Bacc program at East Bay, and so I decided to enroll in the following winter cohort, so that's winter of 2016.
Wow.
And then I did that program for about a year and a half. So I took extreme biology classes, and that was I guess how I was able to prove my academic enrichment following undergrad, and that's how I think I really credit a lot of the reason why I was able to consider to be in dental school from Post-Bacc. I think so. If anybody is ever interested in doing a Post-Bacc, maybe you can talk to Michael about it, and I would love to share my experience.
And East Bay is actually it has a good track record of getting students into their respective programs.
Yeah. So actually the program started being a really small program. And then now it's gained a lot of traction, I think, just because a lot of our students are getting into schools. And I think that's becoming more of a pattern. I find in some students where they do a Post-Bacc or they do a master's program. Obviously, there's still so many students that get in right away after undergrad, but if that's not you, consider a Post-Bacc. Maybe that's something that could be in your future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Man, and between your Post-Bacc and getting into Western, You also had another gap year in there in between that too, right? What did you end up doing in that?
So when I finished I took my DAT twice. I took it when the first time I took it, I was still taking classes, and I decided after I finished those classes, I scored well, but I didn't score well enough to apply. And so I decided that once I was finished with Post-Bacc, I would just dedicate myself to just studying for the DAT. And so that gap year, studied for the DAT, took my DAT, and honestly, I just worked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was where, I mean, I was working throughout Post-Bacc, but not full-time. But after I finished the program and during my gap year was when I just really immersed myself into getting experiences in working in dentistry and actually still continuing to volunteer.
Which was actually it was so smart of you to do, because you really analyzed your application from the from the get-go, and you were thinking about it from really a program's perspective, like is my score good enough, is my GPA good enough, and you did all the right things to,
I mean, the right things, right? I don't think there's particularly like a right way. I think I knew myself very well. I knew that I wasn't competitive enough. I knew that I'm somebody who likes to take my time. I didn't really get into dental school right away after undergrad, but I feel like in those years I was really able to grow as an individual and prove to myself that I could do it, and also kind of evolve my love for dentistry. I feel like, and those were really critical years for me. I think. Yeah.
And you're here now, and you're thriving.
I know. You're thriving.
Right. You're the CDA rep for your class.
I am.
You're part of AADSAS, and it seems like you guys had head and neck just recently, and it seemed like you guys were struggling through that, but
a little
not
bit
struggling so much, but everyone kind of
Yeah, I mean, dental school is hard, but I think that just the journey in getting into dental school, I mean, I know that you've experienced it, and everybody in dental school has experienced it. It's not easy, but obviously once you get into dental school, the journey isn't over. The journey is never over, but it's definitely a different kind of stress, and I think that I would not want to go back to the stress of applying to dental school.
Yeah.
So we understand how you guys are feeling, but just know that there is light on the other side, and just keep grinding. You can do it. If I could do it, like, trust me, anyone could do it.
That's what I always tell people too. And it's funny you mentioned that too, because I ask my friends often, like, would you rather be taking this pathology test or interviewing again or going through that whole process? And it's like, it's 100%. So stressful, right?
Give me head and neck 5 times over.
Yeah.
Because it's stressful, but it's kind of like, it's a stress where you know that you can just try your best.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're going to be a dentist.
Yeah, and that material in head and neck anatomy, it's so valuable to your future career too.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, it's just about putting in the work. And all steps of the way, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so on that note, can you go through, because I met you when you were still a pre-dental student.
Yes.
You were interviewing.
Yes.
Can you go through that whole year, your interviews, you were waiting to hear back?
Yeah. So I guess I submitted my application, I think it was July 7th. I knew that my scores weren't so high that I could afford submitting it later. I just wanted to give myself the best chance, and I think taking that year off before I applied really kind of gave me momentum to do so. And just plan out my timeline the way that I wanted to. So I wanted to apply it as earliest as I can. July isn't like the earliest, but it's relatively early to mid application season. And so I submitted July 7th, and from then my first interview was at Western.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first interview.
And you came to one of our classes then too. It was
I
great.
did.
Yeah.
I did. So our mutual friend Monica, I had known her in East Bay. So my first interview was in October, and I kind of reached out to her, and she was so kind enough to introduce me to her classmates and Michael. I finally got to meet him, and I kind of shadowed her. And I think it's really important when you guys are considering schools to, if you know somebody that goes to a dental school, or even if you don't, reach out to the students there, because I think that's really key.
And I agree with that 100%, because I never told you this. I don't know if Monica ever told you this either, but when you came that day and met some of our classmates, till this day, they were all saying then and now, Doan should have been a part of our class.
Oh my God.
Like why? Why isn't she a part of our class? She's so cool.
I love Michael's class.
Yeah.
I love my class too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong,
But point being though, it's one, we have great people here at Western, but two, if you get to know people at the school, they'll really advocate for you.
I really, and I think one of the reasons, the biggest reasons why I chose Western is because immediately when I came to campus, I could really feel the support. And even by strangers who didn't even know me, they were so welcoming. And I think the biggest part of my decision was I actually felt like I was a part of this community. And I think that was one of the more telling feelings that I had and kept with me when deciding the school that I wanted to go to. And I think, obviously it's different for everybody, but for me, I felt that coming from a big undergrad to doing a post-Bacc program, which is on the smaller scale, I felt that being a part of a smaller program allowed me to really kind of come out of my comfort zone because I was so supported, and that's what I felt about Western.
That was actually one of the same reasons why I chose Western too, just like small class size. That was big. I interrupted you there though. You were going into your interviews. So Western was your first interview.
Yes.
And then going forward, where else did you?
I also interviewed at UOP in November. I think it was November. I think it was like November 1st or something like that. And then for us it was December 3rd. December 3rd came and got the acceptances. And so I was very blessed, definitely shocked. Don't know how that happened.
UOP is amazing. It's an amazing program.
It is an amazing program.
And they have similar people up there too, like just very supportive people.
Yes. And I definitely think that Western and UOP are very similar. I know that humanism is a big thing at UOP, and humanism is definitely a big thing here at Western as well. And I felt like either decision could have been a great decision, but making the decision for me it was a journey. So we'll get into that in a second. So December 3rd came around. Yes.
You got your acceptance to UOP, Western U, and I only know a little bit about this because of Monica. She came up to me. She was excited. She was like, "Doan got into Western U." But she also got into UOP. So that must have been a very exciting time for you. I mean, very blessed, but at the same time, you ended up having to...
Yeah, I think I never in my life thought I would be given a choice. I applied to 23 schools when I applied to dental school. So I was like, girl, you gotta give yourself the best shot. We can worry about this later. but so I was in no way expecting UOP and Western to call, but making the decision, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, now I have to really think about this.
Right.
And it's a big decision.
Yeah. And you're originally from up north.
Yeah,
too.
so I'm from San Jose. UOP, if you know, it's in San Francisco, and so that would have allowed me to stay kind of local in a sense.
Yeah. And closer to family too.
Closer to family.
So I mean, let's go through that a little bit. You were in a school that was close to family.
Yes.
And in a school away from family. There must have been a list of things that were pros and cons, and in the end it must have been very close to.
Yeah.
But what were some of those factors that went into choosing your school?
I think, for me, I had gone to undergrad at UC Irvine, so it's not that far from here. So I was very comfortable with Southern California. And I knew that, it's not a big deciding factor, but one of the factors that went into my decision was I knew that I was going to settle in the Bay eventually. And so I kind of gave this thought that this could be another opportunity for me to kind of gain another perspective of what it meant and how it felt like to live in another location for a while, and just I knew that I was going to settle in the Bay after dental school, and so
most people do if you're from the Bay.
Yeah,
I mean, it's such a good area.
Yeah. And family to me is a big deal. So I mean, I love my family, but they're not close enough, but they're not far enough either. And I knew that coming to Western, I've also gained a big family as well, and so I don't really feel lonely, and I don't really feel lost in that sense.
Or homesick.
Or homesick. I mean, we do get homesick. Yeah, we miss our parents sometimes, but now I have my dog.
Yeah.
I got a dog.
Yeah. It's the cutest dog ever.
I know.
Can I actually have a photo of him later to put on?
Yes, I will.
I will. Yeah, we'll have to share him. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, I feel that for me, UOP is 3 years, and I'm somebody who likes to take my time, and I knew that about myself. We're not like the brightest pin and needle in the haystack, but we work hard, and I knew that although UOP would really challenge me, I wanted to be able to be comfortable enough to kind of do other things aside from just academics. I wanted to give myself the flexibility of being involved, and having a social life, and being able to really take my time. And I think that's what I like about Western, just because it allows me to really, I guess, have the time to be able to study, catch up on my studies, give myself some self-love.
Take care of your puppy.
Take care of my puppy.
Yeah.
And so in that regards, I have no regrets.
Yeah. Because I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Because at Western U, they're so focused on having this well-rounded lifestyle while you're going through school.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the reason why they close the sim lab on the weekends.
Yeah.
They don't want us here all the time, because they do realize that some of us do have families or puppy or other obligations to take care of. But yeah, that's I agree with you completely there.
And like speaking on the sim lab being closed on the weekends, at first I thought it would be kind of an annoyance, but really it's not a big deal. All of us get our work done in time during the week, and during the weekends we're able to study or go to the beach. I went to the beach last weekend. I took Max to the dog beach, and so you're really able to, you really have to kind of learn how to balance life, but you're able to do it, and I think for me that's kind of given me peace of mind in dental school. Definitely.
Going back to kind of those factors, was cost, I know location you went back and forth about that, but was cost a big factor?
Cost was a factor, yes, because living in San Francisco is really expensive.
Right.
Granted that, I'd be done in 3 years, so you would kind of save that time. But I knew that if I lived in San Francisco, I would be living and sharing a space with a lot of people. I wouldn't be able to have my car. And I'm somebody who likes to drive to Target. It's like one of my,
one of those small little things.
It's like my it's a little thing. So, but and living in Pomona and the Inland Empire is not costly at all.
So compared to San Francisco. What other factors were there? Because UOP has a bigger class size too, right? And this isn't a video to bash on. Again, UOP is an amazing school.
We love UOP. We love to go. I have so many friends there. They're very happy there. And so I think it's just really, it's about picking what's best for you, and it's about knowing yourself and knowing what you want out of your dental school experience. And I knew what I wanted, and I definitely think I picked the right program for what I wanted for myself. That's
very good to hear.
Good to hear.
And so I again heard from Monica. Monica
been gossiping.
Was this true? She told me that you put deposits down at
I
both
did.
schools. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm so indecisive, you guys.
I mean, aren't we all though? Like, I can't even decide what I want at, you know, this pad thai restaurant.
I know.
It's just,
I don't know where I want to eat.
Yeah.
So I did, and if you're ever, you know, in that situation, don't think that it's the end all be all. You still have time. I know that for me, I had to pay my first deposit, I think, in January or February. And then the last deposits are done, I think, in April. I want to say for my timeline.
Right.
And so I put 2 deposits down because it was really hard. I think for me, it was like leaving the Bay, leaving my family, but at the same time, I also wanted an adventure for myself. And leaving the comfort of the Bay Area and San Francisco to Pomona and the Inland Empire. Yes.
Yeah. We're close to LA at least.
We're close to LA, and I love food, and there's like so many good food places around here. I mean, say all you want about Pomona and Southern California, but the food, not Pomona, but the food in Southern California is...
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Like up in Claremont, Diamond Bar, Roland Heights. I always go to Roland Heights for...
Me too.
Yeah.
Love Roland Heights, yeah.
So putting 2 deposits down.
Yes.
And then you mentioned the April 1st deadline, which is the thing. It's April 1st, all dental schools have to report back to ADEA-ADSAS.
Right.
I think student identification and whoever put down deposits at their specific schools.
Yes.
So on that day, potentially UOP and Western U would have reported back to ADEA, and then I believe it's like April 5th. I don't think you went through this because you made your decision before April 1st.
I don't even remember anymore.
But
it was very dramatic.
Right.
I remember.
But, I mean, it gets more dramatic because on April 5th, both schools have the opportunity to contact you and be like, yo, what's up? Like, make your decision. And actually rescind their offer.
If you don't give them an answer.
So like that April 1st, April 5th deadline is so important to me. And make your decision by then. Which is, it doesn't seem like enough time, but...
I know. I mean, considering that I'm super indecisive, I think that the issue with me was that I could see myself at both schools, and it was just kind of deciding what I wanted, because I think both amazing schools kind of give me a different... I mean, ultimately, we're all going to be dentists, but it's just the way that you want to get there, and it's deciding that.
I mean, it's 4 years of your life.
Versus 3,
Right, versus 3. But either way, you want to make a journey out of it. And you could have definitely made a journey up in San Francisco. You could have, made a journey down here. And it's more for the viewers. It's like, make dental school fun, right?
And I think that was really important to me. I'm not saying that you can't have fun at UOP. A lot of my friends are at Doan-Trang and they're having a great time. They're studying hard, but they're also, living their best life. But for me, I knew that, I had to do a Post-Bacc. I had to take a year to study for my DAT. And a lot of people are able to do all of those things in a very short amount of time. But for me, I'm somebody who takes my time. And I knew that being in a 3-year program would really kind of stress me out in a way that I don't think that I would enjoy dental school. And for me, it's about the journey, and it's about getting to your destination. It's not really all about the destination, and I wanted to make dental school an experience that I could enjoy.
And
most importantly.
And after graduating, again, like you said, we all become dentists. So
And so far, we're enjoying dental school. So
really good. Now, you kind of went into it. You went into it talking about Western. How did you end up making your decision?
So this goes back to, this sounds very corny and cheesy, but it just all went back to the feeling that I got when I interviewed here. And it's kind of hard to describe, but there's nothing that I can really pinpoint. I had an amazing experience interviewing at UOP as well. But I think just the feeling in my heart that I had, like I can't really explain it, but it's just the feeling that I felt when I came here and I talked to Michael and I talked to, you know, his classmates, and they really made me feel like family already. And I think that I could easily have seen myself, you know, getting boba with these people or studying with these people, and you know, having just a real strong connection and friendship with these strangers that I just met. And I think it just went back to that feeling. And so I think when you're trying to decide what school you want to go to, and there's, you know, pros and cons and you know, tuition and all these things to consider, don't forget about the initial feeling that you have. And I think that's really telling as well. You know yourself best, and I think you know what you want and where you're going to thrive.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I agree with you too. During my interview, I definitely had that same feeling.
Yeah.
Like, man, you can just tell that the faculty here care about you.
Yes. Sometimes too much.
Yeah.
But they care. But they care.
And it's all from a good place.
Yes, they care.
And I also remember just the people here just the people that were interviewing me were making sure that I wasn't stressed out during the actual interview. Which is amazing. Yeah.
I remember on my interview day, I went to class to a lecture. And I was able to meet Michael and all of his classmates, and they were giving me so much support and advice, and a lot of them had also done masters or done a post-Bacc, or they're not typically traditional in the sense, and I felt like I could really relate to that, and I just felt like I felt like, you know what, it's okay. And I felt confident walking around campus.
And it seems like the interview went well. I mean, obviously it went well.
I mean, I hope it went well.
But did you, because that lecture that you came to with Monica was a day before.
MCBM.
It was MCBM, my goodness.
It was a 4-hour lecture, you guys.
And you sat through it all.
I sat through it all. Yeah.
And then,
you know what's interesting? So when I was sitting in that lecture, I had gotten the call to interview at UOP.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's like,
isn't that crazy?
It's like the universe kind of working itself. Either way.
Yeah, that's kind of fun fact. But
was it nerve-wracking the next day going into your interview?
Honestly, no. I was really nervous, of course. Like, I was very, very nervous. But I do recommend that before you interview anywhere, if you have the chance, really explore the campus. I suggest maybe going there a few days early if you can, to kind of just feel it out. Because on interview day, I know that in your head, you're like, all you're thinking about is you just want to get in.
Yeah.
Right? You're not really thinking about the culture or the atmosphere or the student life or campus life. And so that's something that you just have to like experience and then put in the back burner of your head later. And I know that for me, being able to go to lecture with Monica and meet you, I felt very confident during my interview, and I think that's also key. Like, I was nervous, but I felt less nervous just because I felt like I kind of belonged. Not like I belong here, but I'm saying that the students made me feel like welcomed, and I think that was a big thing for me. Yeah. And
in the end, it helped you make your decisions.
Yeah, and I remember before my interview, I was playing foosball.
Oh yeah.
With a few of you guys.
We were all about foosball back then.
And so it just kind of made me feel like they were already my classmates and my family, and so that it really stuck with me. Yeah. So when you guys go interview to your different schools, really talk to the students. Kind of imagine yourself walking down the hall and saying hi to these people.
Right.
Yeah, because now I see Michael in the hall and I say hi to Michael all the time.
And we're both busy, so we're just But it's so great that you mentioned that, because Dr. Turchi, our admissions coordinator here, always tells students to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe reach out to the students, talk to them, get to know them, and really see if you can see yourself there.
Yes. And I know I was bothering Michael so much throughout the experience.
But it's so important though. I mean, there are some students I talk to at other schools, and I ask them how their school is, and they don't have anything good to say about it. So I mean, it's important.
And I think it's like one thing to research the school on the school website. It's one thing to talk to faculty, just because then you have a very kind of narrative perspective of the school. But then if you want the whole 360 view, you have to talk to the students. And I think that will give you the more personable experience that you might be looking for when choosing a school.
Can't say it better. Kind of to close off, there are a lot of people right now that are either waitlisted or in the blessed place of having 2 or 3 or 4 acceptances. Very lucky. Yes. What are some advice? What's some advice that you can give them for the waitlisters and for the people who are two opposite spectrums, but for the waitlisters first, and then
I think so. I was fortunately lucky enough not to be on the waitlist, but I have had tons of friends who were on the waitlist, and I kind of was able to experience it through their eyes. If you're on the waitlist to a school or X amount of schools, always reach out. I feel like to schools, email them. Ask about them, show that you're constantly interested, I think. And that's what a lot of my friends were doing as well. And some of them were able to make it off the wait list. And I think that it's really important to be proactive. I know, it's really easy to just send off your application and just sit there and do nothing. But I think schools really look and appreciate to see if you yourself are willing to do the extra work and go the extra mile and really reach out to them. And so if you're on the wait list and you're still waiting, we have our fingers crossed for you. We're sending out all the positive vibes, but keep contacting schools. Keep doing what you're doing, keep updating them, keep volunteering, keep working, keep, getting your feet wet and really still having that passion for dentistry, because it will work out. I think a lot of the times when you're waiting, you have a lot of anxiety, but know that and somebody had said this to me during my interview process, it's not really about, if you want it bad enough, it's not about if, it's about when. And I think that if you have the grit and you really want it, you're gonna get there. And so stay proactive, keep doing your thing, and hopefully you'll hear good things.
Definitely.
And I guess for the people who are, have the blessed experience of getting into multiple schools, or I think maybe have already decided what school you're going to, live your life. Like I remember when I got into schools, I was like, okay, I'm only gonna work 3 days a week now. Go on vacation, spend time with your family, read a book. Don't read a book. Waste your days watching Michael's videos on YouTube.
Or something else. Or like binge watch Netflix shows.
And I think it's really important. I know that a lot of people were trying to study ahead of time before dental school. Don't do that. Put the books down. Put anything down that just relax. Go live your life. You're very fortunate to be able to kind of have that weight lifted off your shoulders, so enjoy it, because during dental school it's a lot of work. And I think, but at Western here, I still have a lot of time to be able to live my life. And so your life doesn't end when you start dental school, but really just enjoy time off. I think that's my number one advice. Travel if you're able to. I know that sometimes finances are a big issue for a lot of people, and a lot of us out there have to continue working. I mean, I still worked. I still needed to pay for my travels, but still take time off for yourself. You've been working so hard for the past few years to get into dental school. Now that you've gotten in, just enjoy that few months that you have before you start.
You're gonna be a dentist either way.
You're gonna be a dentist either way. If you want it bad enough, it's just a matter of
when. Not if. Well, thank you so much for sitting down doing this.
Can I just say, it's the honor of my life to be in Michael's video. It's gone full circle.
It has, and thank you again so much. And
thank you.
If anyone has any questions, could they reach out to you?
Yes, please feel free.
Yeah.
I honestly, I really feel for people who are in their journey to getting to dental school, and I know that after you get into dental school, it's another journey. But if you have any questions at all, or if you just want to talk to me, please reach out. I am all here, and I love pre-dents, and I want to support you, and I want you here at Western, or anywhere that you want to go. Really, the world is your oyster, and don't be scared to reach out to others who want to help. So, and you know, we have Michael here, but yeah. So, Michael, can you give my contact information or anything? Just reach out.
They can follow your journey and my journey, because this isn't the end of
It's not.
They can follow you and follow me by clicking and liking and subscribing.
Yes!
Yeah. So again, I can't thank you enough, but thank you
for having me.
And again, reach out, people, if you know Western U has a lot of resources and a lot of students that want to help. So,
yes.
Yeah.
What's your close-up? You say click, like, and subscribe.
No, I do this. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, right, I'll do it again.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching. Here's a video of Doan's dog Max.